Welcome to the research course at San Diego Christian College. We are so excited for what you are going to embark on through your journey of conducting your own research. It may feel overwhelming at times and feel like a lot of work, but you will get through it, and it's very normal to feel overwhelmed by all of it. So I just want to quickly introduce you to what research is and the components to your research paper. So according to Leedy and Ormerod in 2010, research is a systematic process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information, data, in order to increase our understanding of a phenomena about which we are interested or concerned. Therefore, it is different than your basic research paper that you may have had in other courses because it isn't just compiling information or comparing information. It's posing questions about problems or some phenomena, reviewing the literature as it pertains to that problem, and systematically collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data to add information to that field of research. So why do we do research? Well, it's necessary for decision making, for policy changes, advocating for change or maybe new services. It also can lead to change, a desire to change behavior, and it can create greater understanding to some issue that there's really limited knowledge on. So research also helps in that sometimes we make assumptions about problems with little or no evidence. So research is done to not just make assumptions, but to provide evidence regarding those problems. Over the course of 20 weeks, you will be exploring the research process while you conduct your own research paper. And it is important, therefore, that you really choose a topic that you are passionate about, because you will be spending immense amount of time focusing on that. So it's really important that you enjoy it, that you are really engaged with it. It is, there will be 8 sections to your paper that you will be covering over the course of the 20 weeks, so it won't be all at once. You'll be able to kind of learn each section as you go through the 20 weeks. So the first, I'm just going to review the 8 sections to your paper to give you an idea of what to look forward to. So the first part is going to be your abstract. So this is just a summary of your paper, so the research problem, your participants, just the findings of your paper. So all of that will be in your abstract, and then your introduction will follow next, and that will include the background of your problem statement or research question, and then your hypothesis. The third part of your paper will be your literature review. This tends to be one of the more extensive portions to your paper. So a general rule of thumb is to have at least 1 reference per page or 20 total references. So this is where you'll be taking a look at a lot of peer-reviewed articles, utilizing the library databases to immerse yourself in the research that has been done on that particular topic. The fourth component to your paper is going to be your research design, and this is where you will choose your participants and the type of sampling that you will conduct, whether it's random or it's non-random. And then you will also be identifying how your data will be collected, whether that's more through a qualitative means or a quantitative means. If it is through a quantitative method approach, which is something that you will be focusing on a lot, then your research design will be either experimental or descriptive. So all of those terms will be further discussed in that portion of the research class. So don't get too overwhelmed yet. The fifth part of your paper is going to be the methods, and this consists of three different categories. The first is going to be your participants. So this is where you're telling us who your participants are. Are they all women that are under the age of 18? Are they all college professors that only teach in an online setting? Are these only college athletes. So tell us who your participants are. And then the second part of your methods section is going to be your measurement instrument. So this is where you describe what you use to gather your data. So it will likely be that you put together a questionnaire, whether that's a 15-item questionnaire or a 20-item questionnaire. So that is going to be your piece of being able to measure whatever it is you're wanting to measure that relates to your research topic. So you will be taking your survey and putting it into SurveyMonkey, and which leads us to the third component to your methods section, which is going to be the procedures. And this is where you describe how you went about distributing the survey. So you maybe uploaded it to SurveyMonkey, and then did you distribute it through email or through Facebook or some type of social media? And what time frame did you give your respondents to complete the survey? The sixth component to your paper is going to be the data or results section. And this is where you just state the results that you received from each item on your questionnaire. And then the seventh part is your analysis. And this is where, now that you have the results to each item on your questionnaire, you want to be able to tell us what it means. So you need to analyze and interpret the data. So over the course of your research class, you will be taught the difference between descriptive and inferential statistics. And this will give you the tools to better interpret what the data is saying, and will give you different perspectives of how to take a look at the data and what it may be saying. And this is all important because it leads to the final piece of your paper, which is the conclusion. And there are three portions to the conclusion: the findings, limitations, and recommendations. So in the findings, you're going to take all that data that you just analyzed and interpreted, you're going to let us know, okay, what are 2 to 3 major findings that you discovered when you analyzed and interpreted that data. And then you're going to go into the limitations. Let us know what limited your ability to collect the data, or whether that be that the type of measurement you used, maybe the questionnaire could have been rewritten a little bit. Maybe there were questions that could have been rewritten a little bit differently. Maybe there were questions that could have been added to it. Maybe there was a different means in which you could have distributed the survey, and those might be limitations. Maybe the sample size is a limitation, because instead of having, let's say, 100 participants, you had 50, and usually with greater participants, you're able to get a better idea of what the majority perception is versus just a few. Or all of these aspects, when you're looking at limitations, what you're really after is, am I able to take this information and really generalize it to the population in which I'm studying? So that's what you want to consider in the limitations section. And then lastly, in the conclusion, you're taking a look at the recommendations. And this is where you, as a researcher, are deciding what opportunities are there for future research, because you can never, when it comes to research, you never get to the finish line. There's always more that can be further studied and looked into. And so in the recommendation section, you really want to be able to discuss what areas there could be future research. And you also want to discuss maybe what could have been done differently. Maybe there's a different measurement tool that could have been used. Maybe your study would have been better if you focus more on qualitative versus quantitative methods. So that's where you want to discuss just recommendations for future research. So there's 8 sections to your paper, and over the course of the research class, you'll be taught how to complete each of those sections. Know that you have several resources on campus to help you complete your paper, so don't feel too overwhelmed.